Haley Steinfeld, Sierra, Alex Earl, Kerry Washington, and yes, Gisele Bundchen.
If you're not an NFL wife, you don't understand it. There's a lot that goes down with the whole experience. It's a wild ride.
Shannon Johnson knows what it's like to have intense public interest in her love life.
Juwan has played the last 2 games of season. He was hurt for literally 4 games.
She's married to Juwan Johnson, a tight end, just like Travis on the New Orleans Saints.
We got to talk about Travis and Taylor. Have you been keeping up with all the drama?
Of course I have.
A lot of people still think that it's like a PR thing or
See, but that's
fake.
what I'm saying. Like, everyone always has, like, come on.
What would you say to those
totally
people?
don't think it's fake. I think it's real. Are you kidding? He wouldn't go to Argentina. I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't go to Argentina for Juwan if it was fake, let me tell you.
Taylor and Travis, at just 33 and 34, are already conquering it all. Next up for Travis, he's eyeing a 3rd Super Bowl ring.
He'll see how much you can save.
And raking in millions from his multiple endorsement deals. Taylor is reveling in the success of the Eras Tour film and begins the next leg of her massive international tour.
But I think that people are intrigued enough to see what happens with this, especially because it feels like this is a different relationship for Taylor. And after the football season, where is Travis gonna be? Is he gonna be by her side at all of those dates?
Oh, that's what the whole world wants to know, especially these 2 guys next to me. That is just a little taste, you guys. The full Impact by Nightline Travis and Taylor episode is now available to stream on Hulu. We had so much fun putting this special together, so I hope you both will watch it. Make sure you're paying attention, because you never know when there will be a pop quiz. There's your
Taylor
warning.
Swift?
Yes. We're back now with the mix, starting with a mother dubbed Britain's most hated woman.
This is Carla Bellucci, and she's making headlines for charging her family members for Christmas dinner.
She's forcing each visiting family member to cough up $200 at the door for a complete turkey dinner and 1 glass of champagne. She says, everything I do is for profit, and my family understands that. Let's see how far that gets you.
Do they?
Do they understand that?
Yeah, usually, especially like if you're visiting somebody for the holidays, you order the gift.
Would you go if your mother did this?
Absolutely
I don't know that I would either.
I would not.
Why doesn't she just instead say, hey, Danny, you bring champagne, you bring a turkey, you bring, you know what I
She
mean?
could do that, but then she wouldn't go viral.
Then she wouldn't get money. She wouldn't make money.
All right, next to seeing the Windy City this winter on the river and naked.
Kind of naked. Your swimsuit.
Don't
Chicago Electric
go
Boat
naked.
Company is unveiling their new hot tub boats.
Please don't go naked.
That guy's naked.
That'll be a different story.
He's
The
definitely
6-person heated vessel will be equipped with cup holders, underwater lights, even Bluetooth speakers. They launch next Friday. $250 though for a 90-minute cruise. It's not terrible.
Our first world news polka from Melbourne, Australia, presenting Lucy Redette.
America's #1 news source comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and it can customize to you and your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience what all the buzz is about. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
At Boston Logan Airport, I'm Gio Benitez. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Right now on America This Morning, the bombshell new report claiming that Israel got a heads up before the October 7th Hamas attack, getting a hold of the Hamas attack plan months in advance, why no action was taken.
Plus, breaking overnight, Israel resuming combat operations. The ceasefire now over. What the U.S. is now demanding.
Two big political showdowns this morning. George Santos could be expelled from Congress today. What he's now saying about possible jail time, and overnight, the high-stakes showdown as Governors Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom square off on the debate stage.
Concerning news about a spike in pneumonia cases among children in the Midwest. What doctors are saying about the outbreak.
Felicity Huffman speaks out for the first time since the college admissions bribery scandal.
It felt like I had to give my daughter a chance at a future.
What she's revealing about her decision to break the law to help her daughter get into college and the people she included in her apology. The NFL star under arrest accused of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend, which she's now saying.
The Golden Bachelor's golden moment. He speaks to us one-on-one about the big decision last night.
And
From ABC News in New York, this is America This Morning.
good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Andrew Dimberg.
Good morning. I'm Rhiannon Alley. We want to begin with breaking news. The ceasefire is over in the Middle East.
Overnight, Israel resumed combat operations, warning residents to leave parts of southern Gaza after accusing Hamas of violating their truce. In the meantime, a bombshell new report claims Israel got a heads up about the October 7th Hamas attack months in advance.
Officials reportedly got a hold of the Hamas attack plan more than a year ago. So what happened?
ABC's Justin Finch is here now with the details. Justin, good morning.
Andrew, good morning. The new report documents a series of missteps that could have prevented the attack that started this deadly war, which is about to ramp up again. This morning, a bombshell report claims Israel obtained the battle plan used by Hamas to carry out the October 7th attack more than a year ago. The New York Times reports the Israeli military reviewed a 40-page Hamas document last year, which called for a barrage of rockets at the outset of the attack, drones to knock out the security cameras, and automated machine guns along the border. Israeli intelligence reportedly dismissed the plan as aspirational, but Hamas followed the blueprint with shocking precision. ABC News has not reviewed the document, and Israel's military declined to comment. Meanwhile, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas expired overnight. Israeli fighter jets once again striking Hamas targets in Gaza. During the 7-day truce, Hamas released more than 100 hostages, including 8 yesterday, among them Mia Shem, the 21-year-old hugging her mother after 55 days apart. In exchange for the hostages, dozens more Palestinian women and teenagers were freed from Israeli prisons. About 140 hostages remain in Gaza, including 8 Americans. U.S. officials admit they know little about their condition.
We will not stop working until we get every hostage back home with their families and loved ones. At the same time, we continue to surge humanitarian assistance.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken now warning Israel to do more to protect Palestinian civilians as the fighting now shifts to southern Gaza. Andrew?
Justin, thank you. In Washington, it's decision day for House lawmakers. They're expected to vote today on whether to kick George Santos out of Congress. An ethics report found Santos spent campaign funds on rent, vacations, and Botox. He admitted last night that he's worried about going to jail, as he also faces a 23-count federal indictment. But he remains defiant about holding on to his seat in Congress.
I will not stand by quietly. They want me out of this body. The people of the 3rd District of New York sent me here.
George Santos is not the person he offered to voters. He didn't work where he said he did. He didn't go to school where he said he did. He's far from rich. He isn't Jewish. And his mother was not in the South Tower during 9/11.
Santos and some of his Republican colleagues argue expelling him before he's convicted of a crime would set a dangerous precedent.
New details about the hit-and-run deaths of 2 state troopers in Nevada. They were hit and killed during a traffic stop in Las Vegas yesterday. The driver was later found nearby and was arrested. The 46-year-old suspect is charged with driving under the influence.
We're learning more about a troubling pneumonia outbreak among children near Cincinnati, Ohio. 142 infections have been reported in one county, but doctors say so far the cases are part of a typical wave of illness this time of year.
We have to remember that these are expected rises in illness among our kids. These are seasonal infections, and especially with the protections that our kids had as a result of the pandemic, it's not unexpected that we were seeing these rise in common infections.
Officials in Ohio say common symptoms have been cough, fever, and fatigue.
The CDC has issued a new warning about pre-cut cantaloupe, urging people do not eat it unless you know the source. Some brands of the melon are linked to 2 deaths and a slew of new salmonella illnesses. Kroger and Trader Joe's are now among the stores where that contaminated cantaloupe was sold. We have a full list on our website.
The FAA is urging Congress to pass a new funding bill amid concern about the number of close calls at airports. Leaders in the aviation industry appeared before lawmakers yesterday asking for a 5-year funding bill. They say the money is needed for safety improvements and to address the shortage of air traffic controllers.
And working 6-day work weeks, 10-hour days, 200 hours a month. It's a strain, it's a stress, it is fatiguing. And to eliminate or to combat that, we need maximum hiring.
When it comes to funding the FAA, one disagreement in the Senate concerns whether to raise the retirement age of pilots from 65 to 67. Meanwhile, to better investigate near collisions, the FAA wants to require black boxes on planes to capture 25 hours of data, far more than the current requirement.
Now to the political showdown, dubbed the red state versus blue state debate. The gloves came off as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom faced off on Fox News last night.
The debate began with Governor Newsom addressing the question, why debate Governor DeSantis, a presidential candidate, when Newsom isn't even in the race?
I'm here to tell the truth about the Biden-Harris record.
The governors agreed to a prime
so I would leave,
showdown
but she said, well, you know, Mickey is an older dog and he's very cranky. And I looked at Seamus right next to me. I said, see, I told you, it's not Toby. This is not my dog.
In your own home state.
We can see where these Karens their aggression from right there. He came in hot.
Newsom's record in California.
My dog's perfect.
Have you ever taken your dog to the dog
to the
park?
high cost of living, pointing out Newsom's own father-in-law.
Have you ever heard of
moved
this
away.
thing? This
Well,
is
I was
crazy,
talking to a fella
like
who had made the move from California to Florida.
What do you mean by consent? Meaning
like
like people don't like it if your dog
budget,
sniffs
lower
another dog's
taxes, all this
ass.
stuff.
They don't take your dog to the dog park.
And they're getting like, hey, don't have your dog.
By the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law.
Newsom attacked DeSantis for his views on LGBTQ issues and for flying migrants to Martha's Vineyard.
I met with those migrants that you lied to under false pretense. That kind of gamesmanship, using human beings as pawns, I think is disqualifying.
The issue of abortion offered another sharp contrast.
So extreme is your ban that criminalizes women and criminalizes doctors that even Donald Trump said it was too extreme.
I think we're better off when everybody counts, when everybody has an opportunity to do well, and that bill attaches when there's a detectable heartbeat for the child.
In the end, Newsom offered this assessment.
There are profound differences tonight, and I look forward to engage them, but there's one thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
DeSantis accused Newsom of running a shadow campaign for the White House. Speculation still surrounds Newsom's ambitions both for 2024 and 2028.
Time now for your Friday weather.
Good morning. Today will feature a wet day from Chicago to Pittsburgh to New York City, and there could be some snow mixing in with the rain north of those cities. Speaking of snow, today, tonight through Saturday, north of Detroit, Chicago, and Kansas City, a strip of 1 to 3 inches of wet snow is possible. Could be some slippery roads there into the weekend. Meantime, speaking of the weekend, very wet across much of the east, some snow in northern New England, and a big storm in the Pacific Northwest with rain and heavy mountain snow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Kevin Coskren.